Welcome to the final episode of the Gamerzclass on the web app. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use the coins we've made in the first 6 episodes and continue to spiral those into more and more profit. The coins you make will become exponential in the rise because it's very hard to make those first few coins, but after you get off the ground, it becomes easier and easier and easier. It's a rich get richer concept, so let's hop right into it. In this episode, we'll be taking a kind of surface level look on some trading methods that we can use to continue some low budget trading. But we're gonna hop into some more in-depth stuff in another Gamerzclass, so make sure to check that one out too. Anyways, let's hop into the first trading method of the episode. We've got ourselves the 1, 2, 3 trading method, which is something that I picked up a couple of years ago. And what you'll do is you'll go to the bid price, you'll put 1,000, you're gonna go to the bid maximum, you're gonna put 2,000, and you're gonna go to the buy now price and you're going to put 3,000 on the minimum. You're going to leave the maximum at any. So that's the basic way to do this, and you can actually just search right then and there and go ahead and start this trading method. You can search, and then what you're looking for are cards that already have a bid on them. As you can see, this Boschus, or however you pronounce this name, is already on a bid of 1,200. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're going to make a bid on that card. All you need to know is that it had a bid on the card to make a bid. That's all you need to do. Now, to make sure you're making profit before you bid, a lot of the times you'll want to compare the price and see what it's actually going for. Or maybe take a look at FUTBIN and get a general idea on what it's been recently. And as you can see right here, it looks like it's going for about 3,000 coins. So if we end up getting this card on bid for 1,300, and it looks like to be a great example because I think we might end up getting this card and making 1,500 coins on it, just like that. You can see how effective this trading method already is. However, you can make it even more specific by adding different filters like quality silver. If there's a squad building challenge that needs silver cards, like those basic SBCs we talked about a few episodes ago, we can take a look at the silver cards that already have bids on them. Now, it's not going to be very common to find a bid on this card 11 months into the game in FIFA 21, but at the beginning of FIFA 22, this filter could work brilliantly. But you guys kind of get the point. And to reset the filter to make sure that you're continually getting new cards, because if you search the exact same filter each time, a lot of times it'll actually give you cards that are expired. To refresh it, you can just set the bid price at minimum 950. That'll refresh your searches, and then it'll give you a whole new list of cards. And you're just gonna wanna search for the cards that already have a bid on them. If they have 3 dashed lines right there, that means they don't have a bid on them, and you don't wanna actually place a bid on that card. You only wanna place a bid on the cards that have one already. So as you can see, we've got Joaquin here. It has a bid of 1,900 on it. We're gonna go ahead and make a bid of 2,000. A lot of times you can just go ahead and assume that card goes for more, but if you wanna be very, very careful about it, especially if you don't have a lot of coins left, you gotta check the price of the card before you bid on it. And as you can see, this card also looks like it goes for about 3,000 coins right now, and we're getting it for 2K. So in this, 1 to 2 minutes of explaining this, we've already made ourselves well over 2,000 coins using this method. And I absolutely love using this method at the beginning of the year because it's the perfect low budget trading method. Now, another trading method that we actually talked about a little bit in the last episode was a consumable method. If you pick up a card and you want to invest or flip a card, it's oftentimes very good to pick up a card that already has a chemistry style on it. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ferland Mendy. Ferland Mendy's always been a great card in the last couple of FIFAs, and despite the price, it's always going to be more valuable of a card when it has a good chemistry style like an anchor or even a shadow card on it. So once we figure out the price of the base card, which might be 8,000 coins, looks like it's about 7 to 6,000 coins here. So we're gonna find the exact price of the card. And then once we find the exact price, we're gonna look for cards that have a good chemistry style on it. So as you can see, we can go ahead and pick up this, Ferland Mendy and try to sell it for 7,500 coins for a couple 100 coin profit, but most of the time it's probably not going to sell like that. So what you're gonna wanna do is you'll keep refreshing. You might keep a tab of a couple of different cards open, and you're gonna look for cards that already have a chemistry style on them. This card has an anchor card, so it's actually probably more valuable than the card that doesn't have an anchor card, despite the fact it's 100 coins more to pick up him. So that is a pretty solid one, but let's go ahead and take a look at the shadow because that's much better than the anchor. Shadow cards, as you can see, are even more expensive than the anchor by about 200 coins. So right here, you can see it's been listed at 57 minutes, and this card was listed about 15 minutes ago. So that's at 7,100. So you can basically infer that if you were to take this card at 6,900 and you were to list it at 7,100, it'd probably sell within the first 20 minutes of being listed. Now, this method doesn't work later in the game of FIFA. It really doesn't, because the shadow card and the hunter card and the anchor card don't have nearly as much value in August as it does at the beginning of the year. However, if you were to pick those cards up at the beginning of the year, that could add easily 2,000, 3,000, and possibly 4,000 coins of value on some of those meta cards, especially if those hunter cards or the shadow cards are extinct normally. If they don't have very much demand for these cards in FIFA 22, it might not work as well. So if the chemistry style, like a hunter card, let's say, is only going for about 500 coins or less, if it's only 500 coins like it is right now, it doesn't add that much value to a card, because you can just pick it up with a basic chemistry style and add it. However, if that hunter card is 4,000 to 5,000 coins like it normally is at the beginning of the year, you can see how it adds value. Bidding on cards is another great way of making an extra couple coins on each transfer. When you're buying cards on the transfer market, you have a choice of clicking buy now or bidding. And bidding on cards can save you an extra 50, 100, maybe 200 coins, especially that is a very significant amount on cards that are going for just 400 coins. So if you were to buy now a card for 450 coins when you could have just bid on the card for 300, that's 33% of the value of that card. So if we're thinking about percentages, which is really what you should be thinking about this early in the game, that is a big percentage of coins saved. So what we can do for a trading method oftentimes is you can go gold and you can go for League, Premier League, and then you can just search that straight up, or you can actually go to rarity now, which is awesome addition that we didn't have in previous FIFAs but got introduced last year. Is the rarity, you can select common or rare. Let's go for common, gold, Premier League cards and see what they're actually going for right now. Probably 450 coins to 500, and yeah, so it looks like every single card sells for 500 coins. Let's see if they all sell for 550. They do. They all sell for 550 coins. Do they all sell for 600? They do. And the way you can tell that is because that card got listed literally seconds ago, and it's it's the oldest card on the market for that price. It looks like at about 650 they sell after about 30 minutes depending on the card. El Neni and Tierney, or Kearney, excuse me, sell after about 30 minutes. Maybe some of the other cards you could list for 650. So now we know generally what the price of these cards are going for. So let's go ahead and set our bid price at 450 coins at maximum, minimum 150 just to make sure it refreshes. And we'll go ahead and make a bid on Richie here. We'll make a bid on Gross. We'll make a bid on Yarmolenko. We're just going to go through and bid on every single card that we possibly can. And hopefully we'll get a few of them. We're not going to get all of them. I know we're going to get outbid on a couple of them, but that's all right. As long as we get a few of them, that is a successful trade for us. So we'll go through and bid on as many of these as possible. So as they start to expire, you can see these cards I got outbid on, but that's all right. We don't need every single card. We got a few of them. So we've got ourselves Basham, Bowen, Coach, Sumer, and Williams here, all for about 350 coins each, which is guaranteed profit already because we know every single card sells for 550 at the minimum. Now we can take a look at each individual card and look at their exact prices. And if you don't have a lot of coins yet, I would suggest doing that. But as you get more and more coins, it's more efficient to probably just list for what you think they go for based on what you've already seen and make sure they sell quickly. So we know that this Brandon Williams here for 350 is easily going to sell for 600 coins. So let's go ahead and list that on the market real quick for 600 coins immediately. And let's see how quickly it actually does end up selling for 600 coins on the market. So we've listed that one, and then we've got Basham here. We can probably list that for 600 as well and make ourselves 200 more coins on that card. That's 33% profit already on that card. We've got Coach here. Maybe try a 650 on him and see if that sells. We know they're going to sell. And then also a good tip for you guys is if you're going to start listing for a little bit higher, like let's say you've already got quite a few coins, you're going to continue selling, and you think, well, I've got an hour to sell this card. It's okay if it doesn't sell immediately, and you want to list it for 700 coins. That's totally fine. But what you want to do is you want to raise the start price to 650, and that way you don't actually have what happened to the guy you bought from happen to you as well. You don't want to sell that card back on the market for 350 coins because then you don't make any profit. In fact, you actually lose 5%, which, let's be real, is not a huge amount at 350 coins, but you definitely don't want to lose coins. So let's go ahead and list that for 750 coins and see if that ends up selling. And then Sumer, we got for 450. We'll go ahead and list for 650 coins. I think it'll sell no problem. And then we can go ahead and back out and wait until those cards end up selling, which shouldn't take too long. As you can see, we've already sold 3 of the cards. Coach sold for 650, Basham sold for 600, and Williams sold for 600. So just like that, we made ourselves 600 coins, no problem whatsoever. And you guys can do that for an hour, end up making absolute bank. This is a great low budget trading method. And another thing to take a look at were the cards that we bought with the 1, 2, 3 method. Let's go ahead and take a look at Boetius, and I apologize to any Dutch people watching this video. I know I didn't pronounce that correctly, but let's go ahead and list that card for about, let's say, 1,900 coins. We won't get greedy. We want it to sell quickly, so we're going to list it for 1,900. We got it for 1,300, so that's 600 coin profit immediately. And then we got Joaquin here. We got him for 2,000 coins. Let's go ahead and take a look at how much Joaquin sells for. The 80 rated, yep, that's him. And we got him for 2K. We know he goes for more than that. 2,400. All right, we'll list it for 2,400 coins as well and make a little bit of profit on him. Maybe not as much as the Boetius that we just sold, but still profit nonetheless. And just like that, he already sold for 1,900. Probably could have listed him for even more than that. And all the cards we bid on already sold, including the card that we listed for 700 coins, Jared Bowen here. So pretty successful. I think we probably could have listed all those cards for more, but I'm glad we listed them for what we did to make sure that they sold quickly so that we can use those coins and go back into the transfer market and continue doing it over and over and over again until we have 1 billion coins. And to reiterate, a mistake that a lot of players make is they have all their coins wrapped up in Fabianski's and they're not selling the cards, and they've got no coins to go out and invest or trade or do anything with the transfer market while all their coins are wrapped up in players. So make sure that you've got a nice balance between players that are selling on the transfer market and coins that you can use to trade with other players. Don't wrap up all your coins in the same exact thing. Hopefully you've enjoyed my Gamers class on the web app. Hopefully you come out with a ton of tips and tricks on what to do with your packs, what to do with the transfer market in terms of trading, how to make those coins, how to use squad building challenges to your advantage. And if you guys did enjoy this Gamers class, make sure to check out all the other Gamers class episodes on trading that I'll be bringing out in the near future. And you can also check out my social medias, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube for even more trading tips along these lines. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.